Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to discuss about your virtual writing conference with me, your instructor. The virtual writing conference will be taking place, as you can see on the course calendar. It is going to be on the 6th of May. The virtual conference is one-on-one, and the virtual conference is a way for me to talk to you about your work, and also for you to talk to me about your work. So this is supposed to be one-on-one, conversational. I'm going to have my video camera on, and I assume that you would have yours as well. So in a face-to-face classroom, you will probably be meeting with me in person, and I'll be discussing with you your assignment and perhaps giving you feedback on something you've submitted recently. Because we don't have that privilege in a virtual setting, that means the best option is to do this with our cameras on. So this is why I always highlight that students have their cameras on, not for any other reason, but because it just makes sense that if you're in a conversation with somebody, you want to know that they're listening to you and that you are also listening to them. It just makes sense. It's mutual. It's you're having a real conversation with somebody when you are sure that you have the utmost undivided attention. Speaking of which, I'm going to walk you through how you can find out more information about the virtual writing conference. So on our home page, you are going to click on the assignments tab. So when you click on the assignments tab, you are going to find, and I have this already open, you're going to find virtual writing conference with instructor. So I have everything that you need to understand or know about this conference, the protocols, and also the sign-up sheet, and lastly the link you're going to click on when it's time for you to join me. So let me start with one of the first links that I have here, and that's the protocols. I am not going to read everything, but I'm just going to walk you through what I'm expecting from you. So there is my expectation before. This assumes that you've already met some of the requirements. At least before your conference with me, you should have submitted your summary response part 1. Okay, so that's going to be in week 13. So things in week 12, you should have taken care of everything there. And then it makes our conversation much more productive and fruitful. So that's that. So the protocol, let me go back into the protocol so we can see other expectations. So I have highlighted what I'm expecting you to do right here. You will notice the before. Like I said, I always prefer students to have a real conversation, so you can ask me any question, particularly about the assignment. You can let me know about what you're struggling with in the final project. However, the purpose of this conference is not for you to take me back to week 1, week 2, or something you didn't turn in the past. That's not going to be the topic of our conversation. We are going to focus on the project and not something else. Yes, I will give you feedback, but it's going to be my discretion to give you the feedback on your work. But we're not going to talk about week 1, week 2, week 3, because that's way in the past. And if you really need to talk to me about some past work, you got to set up a separate meeting with me. And since this is finals week, I would decide if it's necessary to have that meeting, because whatever work you've turned in the class by now, you should have gotten a grade on it. So after the conference, you can reach out to me, send me an email. I advise that you take notes when we meet, so that you know the plan of action you're going to develop following our meeting. So that's that on the conference protocol. Okay, so make sure you understand what I'm expecting. Now let's look at the conference sign-up sheet. So the time listed here is subject to change, but the date is going to be the same. I will make adjustment if I think it's necessary, but once you are able to view the sign-up sheet, you should make sure you sign up for it as soon as possible, because it's based on a first come first served basis. So for instance, if one of you decide to see me at 8:45 a.m., then that's your slot. Somebody else cannot come here and cancel your name and say, I want to see Mr. E at this time. So I'm going to look at the list and look at who's next at the time that is selected here. So you will notice what I have here is that I have listed that you should have your video camera on. It's going to be on Zoom, and when we meet on Zoom, I expect that you will be willing to share with me your paper. I'm going to share. I may decide to review the assignment again if something is confusing you about the instructions. So I must emphasize that when you meet with me, you just gotta have to follow the protocol. You just have to remember to follow the protocols. If for one reason or the other you do not want to meet with me, which I hope is not the case, but I've had in the past students who don't want to meet with an instructor, then you're going to have to work with a tutor. You will work with a tutor and you will share with the tutor your final project. You're going to write a report to me, a 2-paragraph report, and you will copy the writing tutor in an email regarding what you discuss with that tutor regarding your assignment project. This is just to ensure accountability. I'm not micromanaging you, but if you decide to see a tutor, they should be able to tell you, that you can copy them on an email and copy me on the same email that you saw so and so tutor, or have them personally reach out to me by copying you on the email. So I've thought about this option because I want to ensure that everyone has the opportunity. If for some reason you are not available on the day, then there's another choice. Just make sure that you give me a heads up before that day and let me know. Maybe I would think of a plan that would work out. If not, you're just gonna have to see a tutor. Okay? I've stated everything that you need to expect regarding the virtual conference. Now, the last step to remember after you have reviewed the protocols and signed up for the virtual conference is to click on the Zoom link here. This will tell you what I'm expecting. You will go, because I already have this set up on the date that we are conferences, which is on the 6th. You will click on this link and you will just wait until I accept you into the meeting. I should be in the waiting room to let you in. And that concludes my review of the virtual writing conference, planning and expectations. Bye-bye.